Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this time, Spirit. Thank you for this time. Thank you for this time, Spirit. Thank you for this time. This beautiful time. This beautiful time. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful friends. My wonderful friends. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. This wonderful life. This wonderful life. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Healing and peace to all on earth. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Peace to all on earth, Spirit. Peace to all on earth. Bring your loving healing, bring it here right now. This healing day. This healing day. Oh, thank you. Getting things started with a song that's a prayer written by Karen Drucker. Thank you for this day, and welcome everybody to Unity of Bon Air. It's a special day. I mean, it's always a special day, but we got the choir in the house, and they sound fantastic. Let us stand and we'll affirm in song what we know to be true. God is good, and all is well. Wonderful morning, beyond compare. I feel God's loving presence everywhere. I am filled with joy profound in a world where many miracles abound. In the garden of my soul,
So welcome to Unity of Bon Air, where we live and express unconditional love. Is my mic on? Okay. And grow together in peace and prosperity. My name is Reverend Patty, and it is my joy to be the minister, and I consider all of you ministers in this community where we seek to reach out and hold each other in love and acceptance. Whether this is your first time or your 100th time joining us, either in person or online, we're grateful for your presence and your participation as we share this special time together. We've come as part of love's divine purpose that calls each of us forth to celebrate the connection we all share with that holy presence within and all around us that we call God. In this spirit of community, we enfold in light and love all spiritual and religious gatherings and all people everywhere. We especially welcome any of you who are here for the first time. If you're in the room, please raise your hand so one of our ushers can bring you a welcome packet. We invite you to join us for fellowship coffee. And there's a tag to put your name on there so when people come up to you, they can call you by name. And if you're with us online, be sure to check out our website, unitybonair.org, to find out the activities happening in this place. Okay, so time for our morning joke. So there's a little kindergartner who's walking to school, and mamas are nervous about these launches. So she's sharing with the neighbor that she's concerned about him going to school, walking on his own, but she doesn't want to follow him. She wants him to have a sense of independence. And the neighbor goes, "Oh, I got this. I have a toddler, and we can walk a little distance behind him, and I'll keep an eye on him." So the mother goes, "Perfect." So the first day of school, the little guy heads out, and he's walking with his friend Susie. And every day that week, the neighbor is following them something at a distance. And finally on Friday, Susie goes, "Have you noticed this person behind us walking?" And he goes, "Oh, yes, I've noticed that." And she goes, "Well, who is that?" And he goes, "That is Shirley, Goodness, and Marcy." And she goes, "Who is that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's one of my neighbors." He goes, "Every night my mom has me pray the 23rd Psalm, and it says, 'Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life.' So I guess I'm just going to get used to it." All right, so let's take a moment to get centered and relax our shoulders, drop them down. Take a couple deep breaths in. Our breath just helps us get present in our bodies. We allow our consciousness to move from this crazy monkey mind we have down into our heart space. We just take another moment to breathe in and feel the love that is present there, to feel the peace that is present there, and that we know when we look around our world, we certainly see lots of evidence of peace not happening, but we know the truth is within each of us is this eternal well of peace and love. So we just call it forth within our own hearts, call it forth with those around the world who are in situations of distress, the Palestinians and Israelis, those in Ukraine and Russia, those in any other hotspots around the world. We just hold this light of peace for them and know that that is within each one of them also. We just see it coming forward. We send them our love. We send them comfort. And we see the presence and activity of the Holy Spirit at work in the midst of these giant turmoils, and know that that which is in the invisible realm is far stronger than that which we can see. And we continue to pray by holding all those whose names are in our prayer box this morning, all those who we carry within our hearts. And if you would like to say the name of someone precious to you out loud or silently, we include them right now. We include those on our regular prayer list, the Roskowskis, Dottie and Manny, Cheryl Phillips, Bev and her grandson Forrest, Captain Tom, Star, and any others in our community who are in a healing mode. We just see them filled with the light of Christ, so much so that every cell in their body is vibrating to this power of love. And we know that in the power of love, the only thing that can happen is harmony and cooperation. So every cell is working with every cell, coming forth to bring the highest and best for each person. And then we bring our political leaders. We've got stuff in our country going on. We bring all of them in. We bring the leaders from around the world, that their hearts might be in tune with this divine presence and seek to bring forth the goodness in whatever circumstance they are facing. And of course, we don't want to leave out our incredible children in the world. We imagine these little faces of all different colors and shapes and sizes. We just see them smiling. We see them having their needs met, that they are fed, that they are nurtured, and that the people that are taking care of them only want for them that their little individual spirit grow and express itself fully and thrive. And before we close, we bring to mind some of our blessings. Claudia just opened us up singing about healing and friends, love and peace. Whatever other things you're grateful for, just allow your mind to see those images that stand for that. And then we close with our usual sentences of saying, I am grateful 3 times. Please join with me. I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful. So is there a special slide after this? No, there's that one. Okay, let's do that. Let's affirm what we believe together. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the omnipotent good. And then we have a special treat today. This is our Sunday where we have a heart share, and I've asked Harry to come share what unity teachings have meant in his life and throw in this place if he wants to. So thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Reverend. Some of you know that I'm from Chicago. And I had an idyllic childhood being from Chicago. The elementary school that I attended was in walking distance from my home. Okay, I walked past the AME church that was on the way to my school. And so that's where my brother, 2 brothers, 3 sisters, that's where we went to church. My dad was my dad went to a different church. And so he drove to the church. So we've taken care of my brothers and sisters, my dad, But where did my mother get her spiritual food? Okay, from this book. All of my life, okay, this book, particularly as I was growing up, was in my home. It was in my parents' home. It's also in Carrie and my home. This is the daily word. This is a way to always keep an understanding of your relationship to the universe and to God. And so what I'd like to do is just to read just one passage, okay, from the daily inspiration. All life is holy. When I view everything around me as holy, I more easily find God everywhere. This perspective prompts me to appreciate other people and all the world's beings in a new way. I feel a sacred trust to care for the world and its creatures, to regard my earth home as holy, realizing each person is a divine being just as I am, helps me to see past our differences and realize that we are members of the same human family with many common goals. I hold a vision that others will join me in this outlook. Everywhere, everything we say and all we do will be gifts we give to the world. When we live with the intention to bless and to be uplifting toward the world, we will be treating our beloved earth as the holy place it is. The earth is the Lord's and all that is in it, the world and those who live in it. Psalms 24:1. We have a special announcement. Not now. I'll wait. And now we have music.
Let's stand. We're going to sing an old classic today. Let's let our light shine, this little light of mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Shine it over the whole wide world, I'm gonna let it shine, oh yeah. Over the whole wide world, I'm gonna let it shine. Shine it over the whole wide world, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
This is a very important announcement. We have two fundraising events coming up this Saturday on October 21st, okay, from 11 to 1 p.m. First, the UBA attic clearance sale. Ooh. Had to be rescheduled and will now be on Saturday between 11 and 1 in the church foyer. All love offerings will supply the CARES Fund, which in turn supports us, the congregation, with cards, meals, and other supports during the challenging life situations. We have everything from furniture to home decor. There is something for everyone, including the kiddos. Everyone come and take at least one thing home, please. And the sale is done. Bring cash or checks or your smartphone to give online. The sale will continue next Sunday as needed. We'll be sold out, so. Come and help us clear the attic. Nothing is going to go back up the stairs. Also next Saturday from 11 to 1 is our annual pet blessing event in the gazebo, at the gazebo and in the meditation garden. All love offerings this year will benefit RAL, Richmond Animal League, here in Chesterfield County. All pets are invited to be blessed by Reverend Phyllis Min, who returned from a sojourn to Assisi, Italy, birthplace of St. Francis, the patron saint of animals. There are also blessings from Reverend Lisa Marks for our pets who are transitioned over the Rainbow Bridge. Bring your pets, whether they are furry, leathery, fluffy, slimy, or spiky. All are welcome. There's also treats for pets and people, as well as the opportunity to learn about essential oils solutions to your pet's best health. Bottom line, bring yourself, bring your pet, and if you have only one, enjoy treats and shop the attic sale. Blessings. Thank you.
I think you have another sheet of announcements, and you have the Daily Word also.
I'm excited.
And I wanted to share that we didn't have a rain date scheduled for the pet blessing, so if it rains, we're going to be in the fellowship hall. So come rain or shine.
Morning, everybody. Just want to remind you, on October 29, we have our Boo and Stew. We still have a lot of volunteer opportunities, and we've had a lot of people already sign up to cook, bring candy, trunk or treat, so we're going to have a really wonderful day. A part of my beloved sacred service in our spiritual community, I'm secretary of our board, and I want to remind you that I said it was October 15 the last time, but here we are. We're not having our Unity and Community meeting. I was a little misinformed. But next Sunday, which is October 22, we are having our Unity and Community meeting right after church. This is an amazing time for our congregation to hear about what is going on. Big decisions need to be made, and for you to have a voice and be a part of that decision making. So that's all I have, Harry. You're on next.
This is additional information. I got a flash announcement. Okay, the clearance sale has been rescheduled, and you know about that. Okay, and so it's going to, you can pay with cards, etc. There's something that everyone, including kiddos, could make use of from our where is this coming from? Attic. From the attic. All right. Also, we had the pet blessing, And this is all going to be done on Saturday, so thanks so very much.
And we're also having, we have a slide about Serenity First. Serenity First is holding their first time here. They have an annual memorial service, and they've asked to use our space. Anyone here who would like to remember someone, a pet, a person, anything that has been a loss to them, they're inviting all of us to participate. And so it's on October 28th at 2 p.m., and they're asking you to RSVP. So I called the other day and said I was coming, and they told me I was the only one that had called. So I'm going, I know I'm not the only person who's had a loss that needs some work. So I invite all of you to take advantage of that.
The word for the day is generous. I am secure in the flow of prosperity, and I receive graciously and gratefully my share of abundance, generosity. Whatever I share with loving, giving hearts blesses me as much as it blesses those who receive it. Each time I share of my supply, I am demonstrating my trust that I will always have what I need. When I share of myself, I am living my faith in that I am a divine being, empowered with limitless supplies of divine ideas. The richness of the abundant universe flows through me. Knowing this, I don't hesitate to be generous to others and know the abundance of the world as I know it. Through my giving, may also know the blessings of the awesome power and grace of God as they bless me as daily. The scripture, now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit that is from God, and that we may understand the gifts bestowed upon us by God. That's 1 Corinthians 2:12. I say the affirmation and ask you to repeat this twice with me. The abundance of the world flows through me. Together. The abundance of the world flows through me. The abundance of the world flows through me. Thank you. And now to the music team.
Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. Nothing but blue sky.
Song with Amy Corsetti and Josh Lewis.
Thank you all. Great to have you back off your break. We love our celebration choir. So you all have been reading the book together for several weeks while we were having an emphasis on prayer, but now I'm hopping on the boat and I'm going to start talking about the book. So I want to tell a story this morning that underlies a lot of what the first part of the book is about. So it's a story of some blind men in India, and they hear that an elephant has come to their village, and they don't know what an elephant is, so they have this discussion and say, well, we need to go check this creature out and touch it so we have a sense. So they show up where the elephant is, and the first man touches the ear, and he says, well, this creature is like a fan. And the second person touches the trunk, and he says, oh, no, this creature is like a fat snake. And the third person is touching the leg, and he says, no, this being is like a pillar. And then yet another man is touching the side of the elephant, and he said, this creature is like a wall. And the fifth one has a hold of the tail, and he goes, this thing is like a rope. So then onto the scene walks a sighted person, and they're saying, we've got quite a divergent view of what this creature is like, and so he explains to them the totality of the picture. So what that story is pointing to is we each get our own perspective, and oftentimes it's not the complete picture, right? But we because of the, he calls it domestication in the book, the way we have been trained and taught, we think we have the whole thing. The author spent a lot of time discussing how we see the world through so many filters, through parents and teachers, through what our culture teaches us, through things our friends tell us. Then there's always what you get on the internet and TV, right? We develop our own belief system from all of these experiences. And as we grow up, we make agreements with one another and with ourselves. And one agreement is that we share certain symbologies through which we can communicate, like language. So you're able to comprehend what I'm talking about because you agree with me mostly on the meaning of what each word I'm saying is. But the key here is agree. It's not about universal truth. The symbology we're taught feels true because we agree. The symbols hold a certain value or meaning, but not because it's absolute truth. Everything we learn and therefore think we know is a symbology shared among certain people. But this symbology isn't the same for all of us, so it can only be a relative truth. If I said, look at this beautiful flower, most likely you would agree, right? But if I was in China and said, look at this beautiful flower, there wouldn't be any agreement because they wouldn't know what the heck I was saying. There was no shared symbology. So it's relative and basic to the culture and place in which we are. So if the majority of what we perceive about ourselves is a relative truth created through symbology, then how do you know who you really are and what is true? Well, this is where our 5 basic unity principles come into play. They're not quoted in this book, yet they underpin everything that is said. So we're going to fly through them real quick here. So God is, we've already used our statement, there's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the omnipotent good. That's the basis of one of our beliefs. The second one, I am, because this one presence and one power creates everything. We are children of this creator, and therefore the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? We are inherently good as well. I think. So we have these processes going on in our minds all the time, which is coloring what we are perceiving and seeing in the outside world. And in Unity, we call this the law of mind action. So if you are thinking something powerful and negative, and you keep doing that, more powerful negative things are going to be appearing within your life. If you're thinking of the positive things, more positive things. Where you put your energy, you get more of it. That's, I think. Then I pray. When we take the time to stop, go into the center of our being, let go of all the, what am I fixing for dinner, and have I got the laundry done, and all those, questions, and go within and connect to the truth of our being, that we are good, that we are love, that it looks, although we look like we have these bodies, the truth of our being is we are love and light, and we connect with that. We empower our lives for amazing things. And then the final one is, I live the truth I know. So you might know all 4 of these principles, but if we don't take the time to figure out how to put that into the practical experiences of our daily lives, they're not going to do us one iota of good. But when we seek to express those in our lives, then we live the truth we know. Now, the authors would probably say that we know who we truly are as we put their 5 agreements into our experience. But these agreements have a lot to do with these 5 principles. These teachings fit into the teachings of Jesus the Christ because really all truth is one, and therefore into unity thought. So let's think about Jesus walking around and what he did. So Jesus the Christ used words to free people from limiting beliefs, from illness, from shame and guilt. To the woman caught in adultery, you remember the story, all the men are standing around with their little rock in their hand ready to stone this woman to death. And Jesus says, I'll let you who has never made a mistake throw the first stone. So they had to drop the stone and walk away. So then he says to the woman, where are your accusers? Didn't even one of them condemn you? No, Lord, she said. And he says, neither do I. Go and sin no more. He's using words to erase guilt and shame. To the man who had laid by the pool for 38 years, who could not walk, he said, get up, pick up your mat, and walk. To the man who was born blind, Jesus made some mud and put it on his eyes and said, "Go to the pool at Siloam and wash." So the man went and washed, and then he could see. Jesus was working with their belief systems. These people felt powerless and hopeless amidst their cultural beliefs. In a lot of ways, things haven't changed. Each one of us has often felt powerless and hopeless amidst our cultural beliefs. But he offered possibility, and they could somehow step into a new way of thinking. We see how carefully Jesus the Christ used his words. He was impeccable with his words. He used his highest consciousness. He called it his oneness with the Father. I would call it, his oneness with the divine. So words are important, and these authors talk about us being invited to be impeccable with our words. So if I could use clips out of movies, I would use this little clip today, but we got issues with live streaming going on, so we can't do that. But do you remember the story in the part in The Help where Viola Davis is working with her youngest little charge, this little blonde-haired girl, and the girl is standing right in front of her, and she's sitting down, and she said, "You is smart, you is beautiful, you is important." And then she says, "Say it after me." So the little girl repeats it back. And then there comes the scene in the movie where the people are releasing Viola from working there, and even though they are treating her without dignity and respect, she is being impeccable with her words, and the little girl is crying, "Don't go, don't go," and she kneels down and holds on to the little girl, and she says, "Do you remember what I taught you?" She said, "Yes." And so the little girl goes, "You is beautiful, you is important, you is smart." So Viola, in the midst of an ugly situation, remains impeccable with her words and leaves this child with the truth she needs to know. So next slide, my first slide. Okay, all of us can relate to this. If you are asking yourself why you're so miserable at times, it's because you're telling yourself a story that isn't true, but you believe it. So maybe the culture might be saying that same story, but it wouldn't matter if we didn't do the buy-in, right? You are using your words to yourself to spread limiting ideas, shame, blame, judgment, or guilt. But like the Christ, we can step up our game and come from a higher consciousness and tell ourselves an empowering story. That's what Jesus did in each of those circumstances. He changed the storyline. We can tell. So all of us here are probably guilty of this. The "I am not enough" line we tell ourselves, right? I am not smart enough, resourceful enough, healthy or strong enough, beautiful enough, creative enough. Whatever the adjective is, we feed that crap to ourselves from time to time. It is disempowering and out of integrity. These are not words of truth. Next slide. So Don Miguel uses the term human form, and by that he means the form our mind takes, our beliefs about ourselves and everything. But here's the good news. That is where our power is. In our belief system, we have choice. We can say, no, I will not go with that storyline anymore. I'm going to the depths of my being where the truth abides about who I really am. If we don't like the way things are in our life, we have the power to change them, beginning with what we are believing and telling ourselves. So awareness is always, the number one thing, right? When you you're feeling crappy, and then you remember, oh, well, what am I telling myself, right? And then you remember to start doing some investigating. So I invite you to Bob Newhart's wisdom and say to yourself, stop it. And then go within to the truth of who you are and take your story from that perspective. And here's what you can do. You can make it beautiful, abundant, luscious, a story full of power and possibility. And we can do this with other people as well. People long to be encouraged, to be valued, to make a connection. You know, we carry this within the power of our words with each other. When the day my brother-in-law died, and my sister said, we both went to get a massage, and she said, if I'd only stayed home. And this woman who was a dear friend of ours was there, and she said, you do not do that to yourself. You know, we have the power to use our words to help reel us back from belief systems that do not serve us. So then let's move to the second agreement. We're talking to that. Don't take things personally. So these authors continue to remind us about perspective. No one experiences the same event in the same exact way, whether it can be words, somebody speaking, or an action, or an action done to you, or something you just witnessed. You know, we all take our own belief systems that are always present in our mind and make it mean something. Anytime you got something that means something, you got a story. And the stories, they're telling us, look at your stories. These are little tricky things. So if he tells this great example. So if you're watching a movie that you have made about your life, and you're sitting in the movie theater watching this, you're going, oh, yes, I remember this, that. There's going to be one perspective of you. But then if you go into the next movie theater where the movie about your life is made by your mom, or maybe about your whole family's life, it's going to be completely different because she's the movie maker in that film, and she's got her own perspective, her own judgments, her own stories that have been building up over time. It doesn't mean either one of them is wrong. It means they're both coming from a different perspective, just like the men around the elephant. We each got part of what the deal is. We realize that other people see us differently, even the people that were raised in the same household as us. So we all live the story that we've created about ourselves. We form opinions based on the story that we've created. But this is simply an image. It's not the truth. It's important to remember that opinions are grounded in personal perceptions, and especially when it says don't take things personally, so this other person can have an opinion that doesn't correspond with your own. We can get wound up about what somebody said or did. And this stuff, once we get I've heard said once you get your amygdala involved with this as part of your brain back here, there's nothing you can do. For 15 minutes, you're going down that rabbit hole. That's the way we're created. So we can get wound up about when somebody else says, and then it's like the hamster wheel in our mind. We keep going over and over and over. So if it was something that happened at work, I'm thinking about it in my office, and I say, I got to do something else. So then I go home. Well, do I always leave it at the office? No. Then I take it home, and I go over and over and over in my mind, and, this is not good. But what we can do is we can know that they're coming from a place of their filters and their symbology, and we can choose to let it go. We're always at a choice point. And if the thing hurts, I'm not saying don't pretend it doesn't hurt. Go out and yell and scream and stomp and then let it go. We don't want to bypass these kind of emotions. Experience them and let them go. And it might not feel fair, it might not feel good, but I can guarantee you that if you take it in and nurse it, it will only get worse and keep you from your joy. That's why they're inviting us. Don't take it personally. Okay, next slide. So, more advice from our authors. Be skeptical. So there's no one we're supposed to believe. Don't believe me. Don't believe the author of the book. Don't believe anyone else. Don't believe yourself. Well, especially when you're feeding yourself the really crappy stuff, right? I'm not enough. I can't do this. I don't have enough money to do that. All these lines that are coming from anywhere but from our divine center. So last slide. So here's the secret. We know we have these stories. We know they color our experience. We know they shape our lives. But what we can always do is remember the truth on which we stand. You are truth. You are life. You are love. That we don't look at what is in the visible world. We don't look at what other people are saying about us. We're not even sure we trust what other people are saying. We trust the core of our being, this divine center with which we are one to go for the story we are going to carry on and come out of our beliefs. So just like Viola told this little girl. So I want you to walk out of here knowing you are truth. You are life. You are love. I behold the amazing possibilities that knowing this will unfold in your lives. And so it is. Claudia is going to bring us into some meditation.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray.
So if you're comfortable, allow your eyes to shut, allow your shoulders to drop. Let's take in 2 deep breaths and let them go within. In this act of releasing our breath, we release all that which would keep us from connecting to the core of our being. Just allow ourselves to go deeper into this well of love out of which each one of us is sourced. We just say to ourselves, I breathe in love. Breathe in the truth of our being. And as we face these horrifying events that are playing out on the world scene, we think again about our beliefs. And there are some days when I think peace is not possible, so we give up that belief. And we believe the truth that each one of us is love. We believe the truth that we were created for connection. We believe the truth that there is no separation. So as we see hatred and death and war being played out in the Middle East and in other places, we continue to go back within ourselves and know I am love. Know I am peace. And I'm created to be connected. So let's just go into the silence and let those truths nurture us, and Spirit may have some wonderful thing to whisper to you. So let's just take a moment to listen to the depths. We are the Christ in expression, giving truth, giving form to the power of love. And we stand in this power for ourselves and for our world. And before we close, we take another moment, just allow appreciation to well up within our hearts and our minds for blessings in our lives. And again, we close with gratitude. Please join with me. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. And so it is. So let's see. I've got some ushers coming forward. So if you have an offering you would like to physically place in the basket, or the offering of the gift of your joy and your present and your service here, let's hold that in consciousness as we say our blessing. Am I out of order here, Claudia? Okay. So we say our blessing. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the joy of giving and receiving. More wonderful choir music. very grateful for these gifts. We remember that the gift and the giver are one, and we send these gifts forward to expand the love and joy consciousness within this community in Richmond and around the world. And we affirm together again, I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful. And so it is. And I'd like our chaplains to stand up. Okay, we've got some folks ready to pray with you. You have this incredible opportunity to have whatever your concern is raised to the highest level. Please take advantage of it. And we want to thank all those who are made our service possible today, our greeters at the door, Marcy and Safari, our fellowship team who have a spread out for us, our Carrie and Sherry, our music team, our beautiful choir, and Harry. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are, and we see you doing amazing things. We have our little ones to come in.
As the light, we are walking as the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God.
Hey, how are we doing? Good. So today we had Elizabeth helping us out, so we want to thank her, bless her for that. She had a good crowd today with this one and then there and under. And they have been going over the story of Daniel in the lion pen, and about how to face your fears and to not allow yourself to be afraid, and knowing that God is always with us and that we can talk to God and all is well. And with our older kids today, we talked about self-respect and how sometimes if we make decisions upon other people's opinions against ourselves, that we're not respecting ourselves and that we need to do what we love no matter what, and just push through and do our best.
Okay, so let's bless our youth, our teachers and our youth. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are, and we see you doing amazing things. Then immediately after service, we're having the new member class that is going to start happening at 12 in my office. If you're interested in coming to that, please come join us. And let's stand for our, whatever we're doing. Prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.